Okay, guys, this is not pretty. Let's take a look at the VIX. Look at where the VIX, at some point, we were plus 10, and we ended up at plus 5. When I tell you to watch the VIX, it's because this is an important indicator of the fear in the stock market. The fear is going super, super high. People are going crazy right now. And what is happening is that this is having an impact on the whole stock market, with a few exceptions. So people are pretty much dumping because they are afraid. What are they afraid of? Well, one thing that came out today is the non-farm payrolls. These are the jobs, the non-farm jobs. And well, last month's numbers were at 179,000 jobs added to the economy. So the consensus was at 175 for this month. Well, last month actually. And the forecast was at 190, and we had 114. The US economy added 114,000 jobs in July 2024, well below a downwardly revised 179K in June and forecasts of 170K. It's also the lowest in 3 months, below the average monthly gain of 215K over the prior 12 months, signaling the labor market is in fact cooling off. In July, employment continued to trend up in healthcare, construction, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, job losses occurred in information, while payroll were little change in mining, blah, blah, blah. This is what scared a lot of people. And when people are scared, if it impacts their behavior, they might decide to just sell their stock. And if they sell their stock, and they are a big enough mass of people selling their stock, we are going to see it in the stock market, and we are going to see some thresholds being lost. And when thresholds are lost, my advice, well, depending on the threshold that you choose, we should be getting out. We should be getting out because it shows a turning tide. Let's look at the impact that it had on the stock market. So Tesla is down $9. 4% down, closed at 207.67, post-market down a little bit more. So for Tesla, for myself, I had step 238 as the exit point, and I even sold a little bit before than that. So right now, I don't care if it, I don't care, and I prefer if the stock goes down because I'm going to be able to buy it back at some point. But where does that leave us with Tesla? So Tesla is still in a bullish channel. The bullish channel, it started in April 22nd. April 22nd, we started to go higher and higher, and the buyers were buying in the stock higher and higher. So we are still into this bullish channel right here. So technically, Tesla is still in this bullish channel. It's still okay to be in Tesla. It's still okay to be in Tesla. And because we have support right here, we should be seeing buyers coming in and pushing the stock back up. This is what we should see. If we see that we break and close below that bullish channel support, then it's going to mean that the buyers are no longer there. Maybe because of this news, maybe because of something else, but it would indicate that they are no longer there. So right now, we cannot conclude that. And as a side note, when we are into a channel like this and a stock gets overheated, I always find a point to sell, because when it gets overheated, it's going to come back down and maybe resume into this bullish channel. And I personally, this is a personal decision, to keep the paper money I had at that point, transfer it into cash money, well, which is paper, which is cash in my account, and then resume the buying at some point. Tesla has shown that in the past before. It has shown that it gets overexcited and then it cools down. If we go in 2020, this is 2020, the bullish channel, small, nice little bullish channel. Then things started to get excited a little bit more excited, and then a lot excited to come back into the original channel, 1 year later. So, once you go from this point to this point, It's a little bit sad to go from $300 down to 197. When we know how to identify patterns, we know that when we are going up and then all of a sudden making a congestion zone, going sideways, and when we break that, we know that this is not going to go higher, and we know that we are no longer going sideways, so it is going down. And we want to sell high. Buy low, sell high. Well, the sell high is right here. This is your sell high. The sell high is here. So you sell, you let it cool down. And then when you see that you are going back to the support, the same support, the same line, the 2020 line was true in 2021, 1 year, over 1 year that the line has been valid. Then when you see that, boom, we are bouncing on the line, get back in, and you continue that trade. And then what did happen in, towards the end of 2021? Same thing again. Tesla got overexcited outside of its bullish channel. And when Tesla does that, you can stay in Tesla and only sell when we break this original bullish channel, when we break this here. And you still made money from here, let's say at 193 to sell at 287. It's still good. Still good. Is it optimal? No, because optimal means selling when you start seeing a congestion zone happening and it goes back down. So this is how I do things. This is how I do things. You can do things differently based on the same lines. Based on the same lines, you can have a different strategy. So here, I'm not here to tell you my strategy is good. I am here to tell you that my lines are good. My lines are good. You can do the strategy you want on top of my lines. That's fine. I can guide you in the different strategies you can use. So basically, I'm explaining to you why I sold at 250. I sold at 250. Am I happy I sold at 250? Yes, I'm happy. Would I have been happier if I had sold at 260? I would have been happier, but nothing's perfect. And there was some risk in selling at 260 before showing much sign that it wanted to come back down, because it could have gone further, and then setting at 260 without much sign that it comes back down, then means that if it goes further, then you need to catch up to it. And maybe you can buy back at 270. It's not bad in itself, but that's the other side of the coin. So I picked one side, and sometimes that side is the best, and sometimes it's not the best. And it's impossible to know in advance. So yeah, so right now Tesla is back to its bullish channel. So yeah, it can still bounce on this. It can still bounce on this support. If it does not bounce next week, then my suggestion is that the bullish channel is no longer working. The buyers that used to come in at certain points are no longer coming in. So we have no buyers at the bottom. And for sure, we have sellers and short sellers at the top. Then this is going to go down. So get out. So this is the last call right here. Let's take a look at the rest of the market. Bonds are plunging like crazy. This is a relative 4% down. US dollar plunging also. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. Boom. Dow Jones 1.5% down. Back into the congestion zone that we had. Right back into it. And we were maintaining ourselves pretty good above. S&P, the bullish channel is right here. Boom, we are outside of the bullish channel. Outside of the bullish channel, there was a little bit of support right here that we had yesterday. Boom, crashing that support. Look at stochastic at 12. This is not going high anytime soon. So myself, I'm shorting this. I made money yesterday. I made money today, and I still have some puts in store, and I hope that they are going to make me money next week. Nasdaq continuing down. This is the very tight channel. This is really coming down. So it was time to take profit. It's continuing down. Let's take a look at some important stocks. Lo and behold, Apple did not move down too much. We are even. Okay, is that a fluke? Well, they had an okay earnings, a positive surprise of 4% in terms of profit, and a positive surprise in revenues of 1.59%. So we need to follow the mass of the people, the tug of war between buyers and sellers. And for Apple, for that stock, the tug of war is telling us that the buyers are still winning. So we cannot go against the fact. This is a fact. This is so scientific. This is crazy. We have all of the transactions on Apple since 2009. This is scientific. It's scientific. It's way more scientific than saying, well, I think that Apple will be at $300 in 2030. Based on what? Are you have a crystal ball? I don't have a crystal ball. I look at the reality at the tug of war between the buyers and sellers. Okay, so Apple is doing pretty good. Stochastic, it's at 23. So stochastic is quite low. So I would be concerned. I'm not sure I would get in right now. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon, boom, look at this. Positive earnings by 21%, but negative a little bit in terms of revenue. This scared off people. Look at this. Boom. We just fell. And if I adjust this support line on the wicks, we are still above that bullish channel. But in terms of volume, look at this. 137 million shares were exchanged. So this is a pretty big move down. So we are down 8%, 8.7%. AMD, this one was already coming down. So today, this is just even Steven. We are outside of our bullish channel. So that's a negative point. Adobe, not too bad, minus 3%. So it's relatively not too bad, but we are still losing support. So buyers that were there before are no longer there. So that's a concern. Where are they going to reappear? Are they going to reappear at 501? Are they going to reappear at 454? Nobody knows. These 2 points are important to check. ARM down 6%. So you see here we had a support. We had a support yesterday. So we had buyers on that line coming in all the time. They are gone. Buyers are nowhere to be found. They used to buy at that point. Increasing point, but they used to buy at that point and they are no longer there. Look at the earnings. 2 days ago, positive surprise, 17% positive surprise in earnings and 3% positive surprise in revenue. Boom. Didn't care. The fear of whatever's happening in the market is stronger than this earning. Google, not too bad, going sideways, still into its bullish channel. It's not affecting every stock the same. Microsoft continuing down. Pelosi was right. Meta down almost 2%, still going sideways. This is not too bad. Nvidia, as we pretty much said, the 97.13 is going to be the next point where we are going to see if buyers are still there. Palantir, boom, lost 25.52. 25.52, buyers are disappearing. We have the earnings on Monday. It would need great news, and even then, would it push the stock back up? SMCI, buyers at 672 are gone. Earnings next Tuesday. SoFi. Well, SoFi, we had recently some buyers at $7. They are gone. They don't believe in that too much. Maybe the ones that are ready to buy at 6.15 are going to stay because they have been faithful for one whole year. They buy back up when it comes there. So are they going to be there? We'll see. EV stocks, BYD losing $28 as a support. Buyers are gone. Earnings next Thursday. Lucid earnings on Monday. Yeah, losing 336. Neo Battery Material, nothing special. Neo moving down also. Novonix Xpeng, Rivian losing 15.17 and still above 14.59. I'm going to remove 15.17. It's not giving us much information. So 14.59. We have the earnings. We have the earnings on Tuesday. Nouveau Monde Graphite tanking. Nikola Mining, see again. Buyers are no longer keeping the price on that trend. So there's a little bit of a cooling down effect, but they are still maintaining above 34 cents. Bitcoin caving in today, minus 4%. XRP minus 4%, still above 54 cents. Gold, this is close to resistance, so it should be coming down because we are at the seller's point. We have a bunch of sellers at the red line, and the sellers want this to go down. So they might short sell even to push it down. And silver right on support. So we still have buyers. We still have buyers at 973. We have no stochastic, so we'll see if they are going to remain there. But, this is not looking super strong. So let's come back to Tesla. Next week is going to tell us exactly what is going to happen. Are we going to hold? Or are we going to hold this? Are we going to hold this? That is the big question. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk on Monday, unless you are a member, in which case we are also going to talk on Sunday, where I will do a Tesla Weekly Live for my members. I hope you join me. I'm going to wish you a great weekend, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.